Hey everybody, welcome to All Things Nate, and today we're talking about board games and specifically ones that are good for your family. Alright, so just to clarify, my goal in this is not board game reviews. I'm not going to get every single piece out and show you stuff. And my girls do things differently, so this is just about exposure to what some of the good options are out there. This is by no means a comprehensive list. It's probably not even like my top favorites, but each of the ones we're going to talk about, the girls picked the ones they want to talk about, and the ones I picked for specific reasons, whether it's someone who doesn't really do board games, whether you've got a larger group, whether you want something where you can kind of help each other and that doesn't break the game. So different reasons for things, and I'll explain those as I talk about each game. But hopefully you can enjoy. First, however, we're going to have Layla talk us through the game that she picked.
This is Layla, and I'm going to show you how to play the game of Animal Snacks. And then here's the instructions of Animal Snacks. The instructions are right here. There are some instructions over here. So let's put this up here. So here is the dice to roll. So yeah. And then these are the little snacks for the animals. And then this, do you know what it is? It's the animals. It's the animals. So an orange elephant. Ooh. A zebra. I don't know how to do a zebra sound. And then a giraffe sound. Nom, nom. And then a cheetah sound. And then, what's its name again? The pip. So how you put in Animal Snacks is, so first, you dump it all out, and then, so let's just say, Stitch is the other player. Yeah, he's here today. And then there's a stuffed animal, Stitch. So Stitch has one, I has one, Stitch has one, I has one. So how you play is, we have all of the animals here by color. So feeding area is right there. I'm gonna roll the dice a few times. So I got the zebra. So put it on pink so I get the I got that one. So then let's move these animals right there. So, and then we have to land on a purple. And then when you land on purple, you say Animal Snacks. So Stitch is gonna roll. Come on, Stitch. I'm gonna roll for him. He doesn't know how to roll. So he has elephant, and then he has that one. He already has elephant. He already has cheetah. My turn again. One more. Animal Snacks! So you get to feed your little animals. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. Stitch doesn't know how to feed animals either. because he's from space. Wait. Yum, yum, yum. Here's my animals. Well, animal. Yum, yum. I'm gonna feed them 3 because because Stitch and his group, Oopsie daisy, have more players. So that's how you play Animal Snack. Say goodbye, Stitch. Bye.
All right, thank you, Layla dear. One thing we really liked about Animal Snacks, and my wife actually did the research for this when Layla was much younger, is there's no need to read. I mean, it's on the level of Trouble and Candyland and Chutes and Ladders, super random, all over the place, but the kids can get involved. It's color oriented, it's animals. She was more interested in feeding the animals than who actually got all their food fed to the animals first, or whatever the game mechanic is. So, but it's one that she enjoyed, and it's something we could sit down and do with her, and she could feel like she could participate and was involved, because there wasn't anything in the way of strategy or a need to read or anything like that. So now I just want to talk about a few games. I call these gateway games. So they're games that people who are like super into board games can enjoy, but people who are not as into board games or really aren't at all can also enjoy. Now the first one is a little, you got to get into it. It's called Dominion. It's a card game. Everybody starts with the same exact cards, and then each turn as you play cards, you buy new cards, and your decks will become different. It's called a deck building game. I love deck building games as a gamer, but Dominion was the first one that I'm aware of that came out that was this style, and a lot of other companies have taken this mechanic and run with it now. But I think it's still a very good one for people who aren't like super board gamers. If they're willing to take 30 minutes to learn the game and play a few rounds of it, they'll really get into, okay, this makes sense, and they'll enjoy it. I actually just recently taught someone, and it went really well. A great one, another one is called Rise of Augustus. Think of bingo, but with little gamer mechanics included. So it's more than that, but that's the main mechanic that's involved in it. So Rise of Augustus is a great one. And then the other one I wanted to talk about is called Splendor. Now there's some strategy in this. We found ways to help our oldest when she was younger. We would only turn over certain cards at certain times to help her kind of focus in on what she needed to focus on. But it's just a fun one where you're getting different cards and you're using gems that you get to purchase cards that eventually then give you points. So it's a lot of fun. It's a really good one. Look up a review or a how-to video if that might interest you. Now, before I look at the last 3 I want to talk about and why I like them for families, and if you're teaching games to people who aren't into games, or you're not into games and you want to learn one, Maya Kay is going to first talk to us about a few games that she really enjoys.
Hello, I'm Maya Maxwell, and I'm going to be showing you some games that I like to play with my family. One game that I like to play is What Do You Mean? And it's family edition, so it doesn't have like anything bad or not child appropriate in it. And you have to be able to read to play this game. You can't open the box. And so basically what it is you have cards that have like random things written on them, like when you see a teacher outside of school. And then you have a picture that has been chosen by someone. And then you have it on this little easel thing. And then you choose, so it's like a multiplayer game, obviously. And then you like choose one that would be like super funny with it. And then the person who chose the card decides which one is the most funny. And then that's a good family game. Another game that I like to play is Dice Forge. And it's really cool because it has like build your own dice, it's a dice building game, and then So it has these dice, and you can try to take off the faces off of the dice, and you can put different things on, and it's really cool. Yeah. And then my last game that I like to play is Go Nuts for Donuts, and it's really good for kids. You do also have to be able to read, and the box is really hard to open. Very hard to open. I knew I should have reopened this. And I opened the box. And ta-da! And those are some games that I like to play.
All right, Maya, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Hopefully some of that, again, interested you. And again, I will have links to all of those games in the description. Now, the last three I want to show. The first one is called Tsuro, I think. I assume the T is silent. This is a really simple game. What I love about it is, first, it plays up to 8 people. The other thing that I love about it is that it plays in like 15 minutes. So you got this cool looking little board, and everybody's moving around on the board. But you have different cards, and you don't ever have very many cards, but the cards let you move your little dragon on the board, and you don't want to come into contact with the edge of the game, and you don't want to come into contact with each other. It's a very simple game to teach, simple game to play. Again, up to 8 people, done in 15 minutes. I think it actually plays best with like 5 or 6. I enjoy that a lot. Because you have a little bit of time to kind of do things before people are all going crazy at each other. But a lot of fun. Don't have to be into gaming to enjoy the game. Then the last two I have are a little bit heavier as far as like what you're doing and stuff, but they're cooperative games. So everybody's goal is to beat the game, not beat each other, which means that you can talk to each other and you can help each other. And that's something in board games, when you've got a family, when you've got kids, you can still assist and give them suggestions. So the first one I have is Pandemic. This is probably the most widely known one. Pandemic was incredibly popular for a time. It's actually not one of my favorites, but I think for a family, I think for teaching people who are like, nah, I'm not really into gaming, the theme is really good. And we can enjoy doing it together. And like I said, you can talk to each other, give suggestions, and it doesn't hurt anything because you're not losing because you have questions and need help. And then the last one, I love this cooperative game. It's Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. Now, this is a deck building game like Dominion. It's still cooperative, but there's more to do. There's more strategy, thinking on your own, things to be able to do. So it's heavier. I specifically, if you've got kids who've either read the books or watched the movies, they can really sink their teeth into not only the pictures are from the movies, but then you play as many games as there were books. And so each time you play, you unlock new things that go into the game that are, in general, from the next book. And so you can kind of get that sense of playing through the whole series, which is actually a lot of fun and something that's enjoyed a lot. So those are my suggestions, some a little heavier, some a little bit lighter. Just thoughts for things that you can play with your family. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Have some takeaways. Again, I'm going to have links in the description for every one of the games that we talked about today. If you enjoyed the show, please feel free to like. If you've got a game that you go, hey, this is another perfect one for family, feel free to comment. Let us know that, and we can have some discussion about that. As always, if you haven't yet, if you'd consider subscribing. If you do, please click the bell for notifications. And I will see you guys next time on All Things Nate.